Hi guys, Dragnath here today. Been a long time, I know. Don't really play Yu-Gi-Oh much anymore. Disclaimer, I play a lot of Magic. I have kept up with a few things with Yu-Gi-Oh. Don't really have my cards anymore that I used to have. Foolish barrel rip. But I really still do like Noble Knights, and that's why I'm here making a Noble Knight video. Big disclaimer on the video, if you're a casual player and you're just looking for stuff going, I want to see my favourite card in this video. Your favourite card may or may not appear in this. It's not in it! Because this is kind of looking at meta more than anything else. And if Noble Knights ever became meta, say in Soul Fusion, although, again, spoiler, historically Noble Knights have been really, really bad when it comes to trying to become meta, and historically their synergies have been pretty poor with each other and very restrictive. So I'm going to go through what I would suggest people run in decks, and looking ahead what people might run in Soul Fusion or post Soul Fusion with new support. And just my main suggestion for decks right now, of what to play, how many to play, and what not to play, and other reasons of a few things. We're going to start off, of course, you can run one Rotor because it's the only thing that really searches out half your Noble Knights. You're going to run 3 Brothers because it is amazing. Always liked this card. I'm very happy to see the 3. I had 3 for a long time because I wanted to run 3, but it was never really that viable. Formerly the best, still kind of the best, but equal first with Brothers is Draw It. Of course, his effect, special summons, a little bit restricted where you can't have any other monster, which kind of sucks a lot. But you can kind of keep looping them, which may or may not come in handy, who knows. 2 Boars, hopefully they print this card on Boars, kind of like they printed this card, which is Chlorant, on Madrot. I have always said 2 Boars is the right number. He might go down to 1, but you'll never ever cut him because he does a really important thing in the deck. He adds a card to your hand, but he gets Gwen to your hand or grave, which is really, really big. Now, 3 Gawain, that's something I've never actually had in my Noble Knight videos. Gawain's amazing now because of Castellanin being a card. And yeah, you'd be running 3 Castellans, by the way, not 2. I just don't have my 3rd here at the moment. Gawain and Castellan at 3 just lets you extend plays and just get something out. Built-in summon, which a lot of you call inherent summon. Castellan's effect is really cool as well because it helps you dodge a couple of things when you bring out Isolde or the rank 4 Artorigus or the rank 5, or even if you manage to synchro summon with him. You can kind of go that, what if you bring for a special summon out from the extra deck is Chainlink 1 is effect, and this guy's Chainlink 2, because they're all either if you can or when you can effects. They're not mandatory, even this guy's effect when they special summon isn't mandatory. But that kind of helps you dodge a few things, so just keep that in mind that you can do that. For example, I think if you go Assault Chainlink 1 and then this guy Chainlink 2, if you've used him to bring out Assault, I think you can dodge like Ash being chained in response, but I'm not exactly sure. Again, I haven't played much in a long time, so don't take every little detail, but just understand that you can do that, especially with the Seagok changes that came around last year. And I saw one guy, Shadow Slayer I think it was, suggest this, and I agree. Attack gainer, his effect is mandatory. Currently, from what the card text says, if they have a monster, which is really weird that it's mandatory, so if you do synchro with him, you have to go Chainlink 1 and Chainlink 2, which kind of sucks. I wish you could do it the other way around, but that doesn't matter. He's pretty cool because you can just use Isolde, send 1 to get him out, and you can, under Castellan's effect, you can still special summon him off Isolde, which is pretty sweet. And it just helps this guy out a lot to actually get that little bit of damage through, especially if your opponent has like a 3k monster that you can target and it can beat over. It's going to help you with this dude, especially with what you equip this guy up on equip him with on summon, so you don't have to always go Gallatin. And this guy's really, really good because he searches any Noble Arms or Noble Knight card, albeit at the end of the combat, which is one of those other shit things that they kind of did with Noble Knight cards, which just restrict their effects so much, which is really bad. I wish they'd errata so much of this stuff. But nonetheless, I really, really like this, and I do suggest you run this combo, the 1-in-1, because yeah, it's going to open up a lot for you, which you'll find out later when you've actually played the deck. Now, onto some of the other cards. Glory. At least 2, probably 3. I haven't play tested the deck. I've seen people play it. I think 3 is right. You can shuffle this back with brothers, which is pretty cool. I think 3 is right because you really want to start off with 1. I know it says once per turn, but it's a quick play, so it's not that bad. You can still do it in your opponent's turn. There's a lot of other cards which say you can only activate or only use 1 once per turn. That's not that bad. Yeah, I think that's a 3 of. It's definitely at least a 2, but probably a 3 of. The only other one which is probably a 3 of from the Noble Arms, which I'm going into now, is Excalibur, because of its secondary effect, which lets you banish it from the grave and special summon a Noble Knight XYZ using another Noble XYZ from your extra deck with a different name, which is really cool because you can bring out Kistenin, and if you've got 2 materials, which this lets you use materials underneath, 2 materials on one of your Noble Knights, you then get 3 materials on Excalibur, on the Kistenin, and then the Kistenin can bounce 3. The only one I'd suggest running 3 of at any point in time, a minimum of 2 of. The rest of them you'd never run more than 2, which are Destiny, which you'd always probably run 2. I don't see why you'd run 1, and then I would definitely not run 3 because it would break too much. Now, the other ones that I've got here are a little bit interesting because you can kind of change them around a little bit. So, I hope I haven't been too high half this time. 2 Gallatin, 1 Caliburn, 1 Arf, and 1 Chlorant. Now, you can run 5 out of these. So, run 5 in any combination of these. Most likely you'll run 2 of these, because the attack gain is really relevant in a lot of matchups. If you need to gain life for whatever reason, whatever deck you're playing, you'd run 2 of this. If Noble Knights came to the point where you need to get life, you'd run that. If you need to really get rid of back row, you'd run 2 of this. If you really want to attack for game, you'd run 2 of this. This has a really interesting thing as well, because you can equip it onto Excalibur, Heroic Challenger Excalibur I think it is, or Blade Armor Ninja, and if you equip that onto Blade Armor Ninja, that's 6/4. If you just have this on Excalibur, that's 4k. Really good thing to take note of, that you can do with this. And of course Gwen, because Gwen is fantastic, and a mandatory 1 of. If your opponent calls this out of the grave, for whatever reason, you're either really far behind and okay, whatever, or they're probably wasting it. So don't run 2 Gwens and run 1. And I suggest 1 Last Chapter and 1 Monster Reborn. At least keep a note on running them, because this is a really strong card. Even though it's a bit restrictive, it is still a really good card. And now, the one that's really hard to say, or 2 that are really hard to say whether you should run them or not, I don't know. This guy's got a lot of good synergies, and if you're running this though, you'd definitely run 3 Isoldes, because you'd be banishing 1 straight off the bat, more than likely. And this guy has got a lot of good synergies with the deck as well. I couldn't tell you if it is better to run this one over this, or this one over this, or run both, or run neither. It's really dependent on what happens in Soul Fusion. I think they're both excellent cards, but I couldn't tell you. This is the only one I can really just not say. I don't know whether to run it or not to run it. they're really on the borderline kind of at the moment. I think they're both really, really, really good Noble Knight cards, unlike a lot of other ones. But whether you run them or not, I'm not sure. That is the only one I'm going to say that I'm not sure on. Alright, that's main board. Again, not a deck profile. This is more of a discussion on what you should or shouldn't run in an upcoming meta. Now, for extra deck, and this is just Noble Knight stuff. This is pure Noble Knight stuff. Of course, I'd say run Blade Hammer Ninja and maybe Excalibur, especially when you run Chlorant. 2 I sold. Again, if you're running Ector, you'd be running 3, and I think 3 might be the right way to go, depending on the new support. 3 might be the way to go for I sold. You also want to run 2 of the rank 4 Artorigus. Kind of wish I had this ulti, but the ulti wouldn't even suit this. It kind of doesn't suit it, but I guess it might look better than Platinum. The Platinum looks alright on that at least. I have 2 Ultras, but they're bent as fuck. 2 of the new guy, 2 Castanen. I really like this guy, but his effect to be destroyed is just another one of those hallmarks of bad synergy, because this guy tributes off a Noble Knight monster. If his effect was changed to say, if this card is sent to the graveyard due to battle or by card, not being destroyed by card effect or just sent by, you know, it would, like, even if it was just sent to the grave, if this card on the field is sent to the grave, like the rank 5 has, hey, good synergies together, really good synergies. Hey, even these have good synergies together. I've used this dude heaps of times, and this guy goes to the grave and special summons that guy back out. If this had the same card text as the rank 5, it would make this card phenomenal, but it doesn't, which is really, really disappointing. But still phenomenal anyway. But you need to find a way to destroy him. And of course, sorry, I've got the 1 synchro, as I said before, because I suggest running attack gainer. And 3 of the Sacred King, because again, really, really good card. Especially if Ector's in, you'd be wanting to run that at 3. Especially if you run 3 Excalibur, you'd be wanting to run this at 3. Just like all around being the best for a very long time for Noble Knights. So I would not ever recommend running less than 2, but more than likely running less than 3. Now, to go into the part that a lot of people are going to lose their shit over, in probably the best expression I can put it in. What not to run? What not to run? Don't run 2 of this, don't run 2 of this, don't run 3 of this. That's simple. No one's going to crack their balls over that. They're going to crack their balls over a couple of things. So, don't run Bedwear. His effect on someone's crap. You've got Ice Sold now. His effect to change what it was equipped to is only really good with Dristan. Don't run Dristan. I like Dristan, but he's really no good. He doesn't get you anywhere. He's a win more card, and win more card is not good for Noble Knights. You just need a card that can actually let you win. I know Chlorant is kind of a win more card, but it's also a game sealer. Unlike if I can quick play Noble Arms onto this guy, I can pop 1 face-up card in the field. Okay, that's cool, but I wish you could just do that if it was equipped anyway, rather than when it gets equipped, which is also mandatory. Don't run either of these. Don't run Lady of the Lake. As beautiful as she is as a card, she's also not very good. Unless you're running Foolish, and you definitely get Foolish every game, she is, just keep her as one of the best looking card arts in the game, and don't actually run her. I've seen some interesting combo decks with her, and she keeps bringing herself back out, and being used as a link. Unless she is literally only used to bring out like links. Yeah, she's not that great. I mean, again, if she is used to bring out a heap of links and new support, run her. I'd be happy to run her. She looks fantastic, but she is definitely a brick. more than the level 5s are in the deck, and I wouldn't be running it. I'd just run the attack gainer, which again is a brick, but at least you can special summon it out with I Sold. And don't run Galahad, because although Galahad is amazing with Gawain, he is another brick early. He doesn't do anything for you early, unless of course you get him back into your hand late game. He's no explosive, rank whatever play. Yeah, and given how the deck is starting to go, you probably don't even need him anyway. I love that card, but he's just not that great. I'd rather run one of the level 5s over him. And who else? Don't run Peridot. Although the funny thing is, what did I put him? Oh, I don't know what I did with him now. I had a Pelennor out, but what really matters? Don't run Pelennor. Pelennor is the new dude. He is shite house. I don't know what I did with him. I had him not long ago. Is he in here? No. Oh, he's in the back of the... Oh, there he is. Alright, so Pelennor is one of the newest noob traps. Don't run Pelennor. I've seen people going like, run 2 Pelennor, run 3 Pelennor. He does this, he's good. No, he's bad. He loses so many things and just... His card tech says destroy them, so you need to destroy both. At least I'm pretty sure that's how the card works. Destroy them, then draw 1 card. Also, this can't attack for the rest of the turn. Oh, it's horrible. You know what's funny? Peridot, which was historically the worst Noble Knight card, and I've ripped up so many of them that I don't even have one to show you right now. Peridot is better than this. Don't run Pelennor. Pelennor is horrible. Don't be fooled by the fact that it's a new Noble Knight card. It is bad. And don't run Peridot, even though he's better than that, because you can link him off and actually get a Noble Arms card back from the grave. He's bad. And most importantly, because this is the biggest trap, and I see people running 3 of this guy still, I'm just like, no. Okay, good, really, really good if you're running him casually and you don't have competitive decks in your league and no one has Ashes. But if they have Ashes and you're running competitively, which is what this deck is, this video is about, do not, under any circumstance, run Merlin. It looks beautiful in Secret, by the way, except this new Secret with that being foil, that looks shit. But do not run Merlin. Unless you run 1 Foolish Burial and you manage to get that before you draw into Merlin, do not run Merlin. His first effect is a win more and usually is going to lose you the game outright if you start with it, which is you normal summon Merlin, he gets his effects negated and you can't do anything. You activate his effects and he gets called from the grave or ashed and you lose everything. So many other things. Just don't run Merlin, unless of course you are literally running into Foolish Burial and use his effect from the grave. But even with his effect, quick effect, if you activate his quick effect to Synchro or XYZ summon, again another one of those poor wording cards where you can't, it's restricted so you can't use it with links. Oh sorry, there was something I was going to bring out. One of the downsides with Ector and Kastenin is that they fall under this precedence of what Ector says, where Ector says if a Noble Knight monster is XYZ or Synchro summoned using this guy, instead of just said if it was summoned from the extra deck, a Noble Knight monster is special summoned from the extra deck using this guy, which is what it should say, and so should Noble Knight Kastenin, but, you know, just restricted for future value of the deck. Same with Merlin. It'd be great if you could just use this effect to link summon, but you can't. I should say special summon Noble Knight monster from the extra deck using monsters you control. It should say at least 1 Noble Knight monster you control, to be fair. So they can't be abused by other decks. But it doesn't say that. And if you activate his effect from the grave to XYZ or Synchro Summon, at level or chain link 2 or higher, he's gonna miss timing. He's gonna miss timing. He doesn't give a shit about timing because he does it on summon effects. And he's gonna miss timing. So, yeah. Don't fall into the trap of running Merlin. You are gonna have a bad time trying to get his effect off if you're running him competitively, and you're gonna lose a lot. Again, unless you really just want to run one, so you've got a Foolish Burial target and you want to run a Foolish Burial, then that's okay. Don't even worry about running him. Or if there's some crazy new support which makes running him really, really viable, and like it goes, add a Noble Knight monster to your hand and send a Merlin to the grave, then run him. If not, don't run him. I'll go into a couple of combos later. One really cool thing I want to mention is that if you use this guy to special summon I Sold Out as part of the link, this is where this guy shines, because you use this and say, where are my Noble Knight monsters? Say you use this guy and Castenin to go into the link. You bring back another from the grave, so you might bring back, I don't know, whatever, Gawain from the grave of this guy, and you can kind of, again, you can kind of chain link that, so you can go, let's say, effect on summon, chain link 1, chain link 2, chain link 3, so then they can't warning that effect, which is kind of, again, where that effect comes in handy. And then you get that back from the grave or whatever, and then this special summons another one from the deck and you go into another rank 4. Yeah, I just think it was something that will come up every once in a while in your games, that you can do that, and a lot of people don't make a mention of a couple of things. Also, don't forget that Castenin says 2 or more level 4 Noble Knight monsters. Good thing to keep in mind, that might come up in your games. So I might make a combo video later, but for now, those are my suggestions when building a Noble Knight deck of what to run and what not to run. And yeah, hopefully I make a video on combos and little neat interactions that I don't see people using very often, especially people that make videos online playing on YGO Pro and Dueling Book, and I'm just like, you guys play this deck because it'll get views, but you don't understand how to play the deck, nor do you look into how to play the deck. So I'll go over that in another video. Anyway, for me, that's all for now. Cheers.